Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Today we're going to go over some tips and tricks in using the SIGNL4 scheduling tools. As you'll see here, I have loaded up my SIGNL4 scheduling page, and you'll see that I have two users on my team, and neither one of these two has a schedule. So first I want to go over quickly adding some shifts to the schedule for your users. So the options here are a couple ways. First off, we can click on this new plus sign, and this allows us to manually add a schedule in for a team member. So you'll see here that it's going to start with the next available start time, which is currently right now 11:30, and then it's just going to default to just a 30-minute shift. But if I click in here, I can change the date or the time that it ends and set it however I wish to. You will see here that the shift increments are 30 minutes, so you can't go shorter than 30 minutes. You can't log out a user at 7:05. It's either going to be 7 o'clock or 7:30. So I'm going to go ahead and choose my shift here, and we're just going to schedule Patrick here till 7 p.m. We'll go on the 12th, same day. Apply that, and then I'm actually going to change this to my user here, and we're going to click on the create button. And we'll see here that it went ahead and added my scheduled shift here. And if I click on this little zoom button, we actually can get in and see a more detailed picture of the current week. And now we have a scheduled shift here, and I can also schedule another shift here by just clicking and dragging for another user or even myself on a later time and date. And that allows you to quickly, with one click, just add it to the schedule. And then if I want to move it around, I can actually, let's say I want to switch this shift over to Patrick, I meant to put it there, I can actually pick up and drag this shift over to that user. And the same thing with any of these other shifts that haven't already started. You can also, if you click on one of your scheduled shifts, you have an option to edit and or delete it. And if I click on the edit option, inside here I could change the start and end time, the team member that it has, as well as delete the option from inside of here. So let me go ahead and switch this one over to Robert and save that. Now you'll see here, it won't let me move it over because I already have a shift for that scheduled time, which is right here. So now if I go in here and let me just delete this shift, then I'm going to go back into this item and edit it, and now I'll move it over to Robert and save, and that'll actually move that shift down. The one item we have to take into account here is that once a shift starts, it can no longer be deleted. I can minimize a shift, and if I actually go back over here to my superheroes team, we'll actually have a shift that's already started. We have a shift that's already started here, and if I click on this and edit it, first off, you'll notice that when I click on it, the delete button is grayed out. That's because the shift's already started, so it won't let me delete it. So now if I click on the edit option, you'll notice here that my start time and my team member, as well as the delete button, are all three grayed out because my shift has already started. However, I can edit this end time to come up at the next possible moment, when the next possible iteration for me would be the 11:30 of today. So when I apply and save, you'll see now that my shift has shrunk all the way down to this 11:30 shift, and the user Patrick will go off duty at 11:30, and I'll actually go on duty again at 11:30 and take over the rest of his shift for this user. Now, we also have the ability to copy your shifts. And let's say what we want to do is we want to set it up so that we have overnight shifts. So during the day, we don't need this, but we do need it from the overnight. So we'll start it at 6 p.m. and it's actually going to go up till 9 a.m. the next day. So it's when we're off duty. And then, so I'll cover the first day, and then we'll have Patrick come over here on the next day, and he'll cover the same shift. Now, since this team only has two users, then I just want to repeat this schedule. What I can go in here and do is I can do a copy, and we want to copy from the 12th, and we want to copy from 6 p.m. Apply that, and we want to copy all the way up to 14th at 9 a.m. because that's when our last shift ends. So that's going to copy this selected period, which is what I have scheduled here. Now we want to do a paste, and we want to paste this starting at the 14th, and we're going to do this just once for now, and we'll copy and paste that. And now you'll see here that I have on the 14th, we'll see that it pasted my schedule, and then on the 15th here it would have pasted Patrick's schedule to work again. And then we can continue on and do this for the rest of the weeks or months or however many times we need to paste this. So you only have to create your schedule once, and then you can copy and paste it to the rest of the year or however long you wish to use this schedule. So now let's say we have set our scheduled shift, but Patrick's on vacation on this Friday. So what we can do is we can just go into and load up the schedule, and we can actually just take this shift and we can either edit it and switch the team members, or even simpler option, just grab the shift and drag it on down to my user, and now it's set for my user to cover for his shift on that day. If we're doing a large amount of scheduling and you want to see, and you have a large team and you would like to see a bigger option for the calendar, if you click on this one option over here to the far right, it actually expands it out into a full page size, and you actually see all of your users listed there. So if you have 10 to 20 users inside of your teams, we expand it out so you have an option to better see the schedule for a large team. And then one of the other options is no matter how far into the future or the past that you're looking, if you just click on this quick now button, it will take you to the last scheduled shift, to the end of the last scheduled shift here. So you can always just pick up right where you left off. One of the newer options we just put in here is the ability to schedule your holidays. So by doing this, if we go ahead and click on our Manage Holidays, this allows you to set up holidays for your team on any date of the year that you wish for them to do. So you'll notice here right off the bat, we know January 1st, that's going to be New Year's Day. So we want to give our users a holiday for that day. And then we also want to go down here and we have December 25th, Christmas Day every year. So if we actually click on this twice, you'll see that the first click puts the holiday icon and the second click puts the little recurring icon on there, which means if I go over to the next year, we'll see these dates have carried over because every year the 1st and the 25th is a holiday for users. So this way you don't have to do it every year. However, next up we have holidays like Thanksgiving. This only occurs at a different date every year, but the same day. So it's always going to be the fourth Thursday of the year of November. So if I go down here and I select the Thursday, and we're going to give our users off the Friday as well. So if I click on those, you'll notice that I didn't double click, so they don't have the recurring icon. So if I go to the next year, those don't show up. And that's because they're going to be a different date on the next year, so we do need to go back in and manually add those in. In addition to this, we actually have the option to import holidays from a calendar, such as like an iCal file. And this is done via our API, and we have a link to that video down below. Some of the other options we have here for our scheduler, you'll see up at the top. So the duty scheduling actually turns the scheduler on and off, as well as we have an option for a handover assistant and post-shift report. So if I turn this option on, we'll actually see multiple options added to up here. And I'll save this. And so now we have the option for one-click duty scheduling. So now let's say we want to make scheduling even easier. So we want everybody to be scheduled for one day at a time, and our shift time to start at 9 a.m. So if I go ahead and turn on this snap shifts duties to handover time and save again. Now if I go into my users and I go over here and I go ahead and click, and I'm going to click on my user because Patrick already has a scheduled shift for this time. So bam, and it automatically schedules the entire shift for that day. So from 9 a.m. Wednesday till 9 a.m. Thursday, at which point now Patrick will take over. So if I click again, boom, he's scheduled there from 9 a.m. Thursday to 9 a.m. Friday and be able to take care of those shifts. And this is the way to quickly, with one click, schedule a shift for your users. And you can actually change the shift length from anywhere between 6 hours up to 14 days. And once selected, you select your handover time for when you want the scheduled shifts to start, and they could flip over at midnight, they could flip over at 9 a.m. the start of a workday, they flip over whatever time works best for you. You just need to come in here and enter this time, and again, this time is done in 30-minute increments, just like our scheduling. Another option we have here is when this is turned on, your users are going to receive an email from whatever email they have set for their user as a post-shift report, letting them know what their duty was and what happened on their shift. You can also send this to a manager by doing this carbon copy option here for the post-shift report carbon copy. Just enter any email you wish in this field, and that email will then receive a copy of every post-shift report across the entire team. And this is some of the tips and tricks inside of using the scheduler for SIGNL4. You can sign up for a free SIGNL4 trial at signal4.com/free-trial-test. And this is a completely free trial for 30 days with no credit card required. Thank you and have a nice day.